Not only I'm taking him through his own shit, but I'm taking him through it in terms of giving him a reference. So when we talking about you can't read, you don't know how to hear the beat, you can't hear bars, you ain't writing in bars. I instantly was like, oh, take Rakim to the lab. He got videos on YouTube where he talking about his writing process, just so you can hear a writing process. 16 dots on the paper, take each bar, turn it into 4 squares and 4 boxes, put a whole grid on a piece of paper, put rhyming words all the way throughout, and then connect all the rhyming words with his rap. Like the nigga breaking his shit down. But I'm just showing him that, one, because this is one of the greats. He arguably the best, which means how the fuck is you doing this shit if you don't know who the best is? You got a basketball, you don't know who Michael Jordan is. That don't make sense. You got to know who these people are who in the argument, because they all bringing a different part, a different attribute to the whole arena, to the game. So Rakim, bar structure. But then I'm listening to him, he rapping with me. He low. He like, no, that ain't what it is. I said, you could be a rapper, you could be an MC. And rappers is getting bought. MCs is these different niggas. I said, what do they call people who rap? So when he said MC, I said, MC, that's a good one. I said, what do MC stand for? He said, I have no idea. So I said, Google that shit, man. So he Googled it. Master of Ceremony. What do Master of Ceremony sound like? I said, Master of Ceremony sound like it's a ceremony happening, nigga. What's the ceremony? What do this ceremony entail? And what role do you play as a nigga with the mic in the ceremony? So then from there, I'm like, this week homework, KRS-One, you got to take a dive. Because, ooh, is this not going to be raw to come up with whatever the points, 5 points, 10 points is to being an MC and then having a different motherfucker that they got to study in order to understand that area, like positions, if you want to understand the 2 guard, nigga, versus if you want to understand the point guard, if you a center, who you need to study. So if we say this is what it takes to be an MC, you got to be able to write. You got to be able to be a master of ceremonies. You got to be able to ride the beat. We're going to be able to pick a different motherfucker. I can see all of them. Tupac is the message. Biggie is riding the beat.
Right. Ooh, pop it, man.
And that's who these young niggas don't know. I said, we don't even need to talk about J. Cole and Kendrick and all these niggas, man. I said, because these niggas' favorite rapper, you need to know who they are. And they favorite rapper, you need to know who that is. That's why we at the top with this shit. That's why we ain't talking about these niggas that is my generation and your generation. It ain't time.
Right.
They done took their talent, they done took they trauma, they done took their ability, they desire, their curiosity, and then they done flip their favorite artist. That's what the fuck they did. So you looking at a sample version of this shit. Yeah. Because the way we gonna teach these little niggas how to read in jail is through the music. The way we go into jail and work on art, and we can't have no utensils, no tools.
It's funny how
It's music. It's lyrics. It's talking. This we teaching reading. This a literacy, not social. What do they call it? A literacy restorative justice program, man.
Damn.
The music, the vocal is how is the strength inside. Because we don't got computers, we don't got laptops, we don't got cameras, we don't got the technology.
Right.
Which means inside ain't about the technology. Inside is all the way down to a pencil and a pen. That's why it's writing. That's why it's rapping. That's why it's literacy. Yeah, man. Watch how this nigga practice. It's like the nigga, the practice is a fucking performance. He don't even know the rap. I step into the club on me, pound for pound is a go, B. He trying to catch it. He trying to catch it. You gotta let yourself catch it. I said, you trying to recite it to be perfect because you think you know it and you're rapping a rap.
What they don't know is once they get the rhythm of the rap with no beat, that rap can go to any beat. That's why niggas write the music first and then choose the beat. The niggas who are called artists, that's good as fuck, because it's like art. So the niggas who rapping that shit and they raw as fuck, they call it Jay-Z ain't called a rapper, he called an artist. Because they know how to manipulate the track to go along with the vibration and the message of the song.
Right. That's what I'm trying to introduce to him. Because his buddy swear that this song don't go to this beat. It's because you done wrote it You done rapped it and you trying to memorize how you delivering it versus write it, put on any beat and let the beat influence the cadence of how this shit come out, because your mind is gonna look for the gaps.
Yes.
All you gotta do is read it to the motherfucking beat.
You know what I always, ever since I started making music, you know what I always equated it to, bro?
What's that?
The signs. I don't know what you call these signs, but they like digital, but they run on. They like red. You know what I'm talking about?
Where they be at?
They be in airports and shit.
Yes. They scrolling left and right.
Yeah, so that's how the brain works when you freestyling. I'm saying that one word, now you preparing the next word, so when it comes.
Yes. It fall into play. It fall into the gap. So what I said to Allie, because I was trying to get Allie to understand what the brain is doing, is I said shit when we used to watch cartoons or some show when we was the TV and the bouncing ball is bouncing on the words.
On the bottom of the TV.
On the bottom of the TV?
Yeah.
It's like that, right?
Yep. That's your metronome or whatever it's called.
Yep, the metronome.
Yeah.
And you got an internal one.
For sure.
Internal metronome.
Yep, you do.
It's why when you put music on, if you play it loud as fuck and you're trying to have a conversation with somebody, you automatically start freestyling. You start talking to the beat because it's certain parts of the beat that's interrupting what wants to come out. So it's like you naturally find the space and find the gap. This shit raw, man. And Rico being lab ratted. And it's turning right into the literacy program for young black boys. Don't nobody got no literacy program for young black boys, man. You got literacy programs, but you ain't got none going in and tailored and say, we about to create the thing that you need for you to learn what we need you to know, which is how to read. You got all these smart motherfuckers walking around talking about niggas need to know how to read. Right. Niggas need somebody to teach them. That's what they need. They don't need to know that they don't. They know they don't. They keeping that a secret. That's why they wilding the fuck out, because they can't communicate, express themselves, or develop in a way that that's gonna be beneficial to them to be able to do real research. That's why they addicted to ChatGPT, Google, and the search engine.
That there's a fact. Said loud for the niggas in the back.
What I did today is I had him switch some of the eyes to you when he talking. You're gonna go into it. First 16, we're gonna be doing, you gonna say you, talking about artists. So you ain't locking in, you jealous, you. I said, then we're gonna throw in another bar. And that bar is going to be, I remember when, and then that's when you're going to go. So first you're going to tell niggas that this is what the fuck you dealing with. And then you're going to say, I know you dealing with that shit because I'm dealing with that shit too. And you're going to do that for another 16. I said, so when you get on the freestyle platform, you're going to be able to spit 48 bars, just go, man. But when it's time to turn this shit into a song, you already 16 bar structure, one fucking song, 2 bars, two verses, one song, or one verse, 3 songs, whatever it is. But I'm about to get you structured to where you working in 16s, man.
That shit.
I said, put a space on your 4 count all the way through. So that's what I had him do. Go through all of this shit and put a space, move them fingers in front of you. 1, 2, 3, 4. And then I want you to put a space. Whatever landed in there, that's a bar. Put a gap. Do it again. Put a gap. So that's what he did. I said, so how many bars you got? Oh shit, I got 42 bars. Right, go back to bar. Let me hear bar 16 so I can see if it's an ending. Nigga.
Shit real.
Rap class. I ain't a rapper, but I'm a teacher. You feel what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I just need to learn enough to be able to teach. And then throw niggas to the wolves to a real rapper. So it's like, I'm trying to get Rico ready for a conversation with you. I'm trying to get Rico ready for a conversation with Allie. Allie gonna talk that writing shit and whatever else. And then from the perspective of a rapper, you gonna talk that shit. But it ain't no point in him talking to neither one of y'all until he just go through the pit with me. Because I'm in the pit with him. You feel what I'm saying? I'm learning.
And it's raw that you said this too on the Uncut Monday, but we never revisited it again. But niggas need to take their own shit. You gotta take your own course.
You gotta be your own student. Because once you're your own student, it gets you... it makes you a hell of a teacher.
And you get a 100% better understanding from the view of the student.
You get the view of the student, exactly. Yeah. Yep. And as the student, you accept that you're learning. See, when you ain't your own student, sometimes you trick yourself into believing that you... And then you get stuck. And then you ain't able to grow. You know what I'm saying? Versus, oh, yeah, I'm a lifelong student. I'm always learning. I'm always developing. Shit is amazing, but I can keep dialing this shit in. And then I can accept what I make because I'm expressing myself to my full capacity at that given moment.
No, that's real as fuck. Because I came up with this shit a long time ago. And you know what? I'm just going to be an art student for the rest of my motherfucking life.
Right, and which makes sense because if making art and expressing yourself is about being yourself and becoming yourself, it makes sense that you're going to be doing it for the rest of your life.
And it don't make sense to think that you at all. Like, that never made sense to me in my whole life.
Me neither. Especially when you don't, because you don't know. That's one of the best puzzles to take on. How do you find out all of the shit that you don't know? How to know what you don't know?
How the fuck?
Because when you can figure that out, you can grow forever.
And I figured this, man. Put this on the shirt. In order to grow, you got to go through the dirt. Hello.
Damn.
Message.
Hey, look, and nothing grows in the comfort zone.
Man, nothing. Oh, wait.
So be uncomfortable and get dirty, nigga.
You hear me?
Or stay right where you at, underground.
Nigga. Yeah, stay where you at. We already in the dirt. You might as well grow. Shit. Fuck. Hold on, D.
Yep. And that's the thing I don't say that I really be feeling. And it's one of the things that I keep to myself not to offend people. But if you're not growing, if you're not working on yourself, you're not trying to be yourself and try to truly express yourself, you're not an artist. If you done figured out how to hustle and make money off of your talent, you pimping your butterfly. Kendrick, spell it all the way out. Go listen to the album. You know what I'm saying? These niggas is then found a lane and got stuck and ain't trying to grow. They trying to milk the lane that they done found. You got talent, you got hands, you can draw. You feel what I'm saying? You not on the journey to discover yourself. You running from yourself. And you hustling. And it's all understandable, but you ain't gotta be stuck there. And if you hustling, if you ain't growing and you ain't living, you dead. What you say, we already in the dirt, you might as well grow?
Nigga.
That shit real as fuck. Just how you in the dirt and in the mud.
And ain't motherfucking grown.
Man, what? If I ain't posting the bikes once a day, I'm making an excuse. Because I got an endless amount of footage of it. It's endless.
That shit raw.
And to me, social media, the algorithm, marketing, whatever the fuck you want to call it, that's one of the key things to figure out is what is your endless amount of information. Because if you can figure out the endless information and you can create a pot of it, then you no longer chasing the algorithm. And if I had to use social media to market anything out of my whole arsenal, it's the bikes.
For sure.
Out of all of the shit it could be, it's the bikes. And I know it. And I ain't just find out about it. I just been keeping it a secret. Or hoping don't nobody recognize it but me. You feel what I'm saying? We be thinking it be a secret. It be apparent to the real motherfuckers around you. Like, nigga, you just need to go and lean into it. Go on and buy the motherfucking trailer. We hop on the road, go to Detroit, go to the Baltimore, go to a couple of the spots, go back to Buffalo, the different places that's already showed niggas love. And it's video footage that I've been seeing that I'm gonna show some of the Cleveland niggas. We need to go shoot this specifically right here.
Blow some of them niggas up.
And blow them up. Yep. Not the lead of niggas that's ready not to come on the ride. Because I don't know if you've seen the footage.
The point of not knowing.
No, you got the skin in the game is your experience.
Right.
And that's what you selling is your experience. You don't know necessarily how it turns into money, but you shouldn't be penalized for that. That don't mean you gotta do it for free. You feel what I'm saying? Because the skin in the game is what's got everybody being paid off of your skin in the game. You don't gotta volunteer it. You don't gotta experiment. You don't gotta take your lumps. You don't gotta start from the bottom. You don't gotta start from the ground up. You do not. All of it is a myth. This is what we tell ourselves to accept having the experience of not getting our true value. But if we tell ourselves you got to put some skin in the game, then it helps us accept continuously doing the habit we need to break. You got to keep doing it unpaid. But you can't tell yourself the stuff that's going to psychologically keep manifesting it.
Right.
Right now, it's practice. Right, you getting your reps up. But now we want paid practice. And we need the team around us to understand that we hurting and we need paid practice money. We ain't gonna tell them that it's practice. Because really, it ain't. You done lived it your whole fucking life. You could tell these stories and talk this shit and do this shit half fucking sleep. You only gotta think about it. To you, it looked like you making it up. No, you've been trained for it. You ain't making it up. You just sharing it with a different group of motherfuckers. And not the young men in jail, the motherfuckers that's holding them captive. They are your new audience. You know what I mean?
Refreshing to have a nigga.
So you got the skin in the game. Because they, outside of people who haven't a lived experience like ours, they coming up with the idea. Watch these motherfuckers.
1 second, hold up.
Yep. What I was gonna say is the way they do it, the Wahatis, they don't do the whole thing. Like niggas who want to shoot a movie think I'm about to shoot a movie for free with no budget and then somebody might pick it up. That's not the way to get the movie if you're trying to get it picked up. You know what you're supposed to do? You're supposed to shoot a scene. You're supposed to shoot a little snippet. And then you take the snippet and then you go find the right person. If that's how you're trying to break in. You ain't doing it and doing the whole thing in hopes of. That's what I say. The story is enough. The story, the description, if we was to write it up, have a conversation with you for 30 minutes and cut that shit up into a strong 3-minute delivery, that 3-minute talk and the description is enough to send to people and sell to people who got cash. You feel me?
100%.
And the thing about it is, I got clips. I done recorded what you talking about it, which means as far as how the team go, that's what I'm about to create. That's what I'm about to do. You know what I'm saying? Because it's gonna be to the point where you shouldn't have to always go tell your story. We're gonna take your story and change the format of it so you can email it. So it can be somebody, so it's a link. So it's on a website. So it's on a social media page. So it's on LinkedIn. And then that's what you tag, or that's the one you pin at the top of your page. That's the link you send before it's time to go sell what you do. You know what I'm saying?
What they call that for you eat?
Appetizer. Or more, it's like pilot. It's like commercial. It's the trailer. That's what it is. It's the trailer. We need you to come see the movie, but we about to flood you with this trailer forever.
Right.
Before we giving this shit to you on Netflix, right? We about to try to get you to come to the movies. So we about to spend money and invest time into the trailer. So we done took the highlights, we done took the premise of the story, chopped it up, made it small, digestible, and that's what we gonna put our money, time, and energy to get you to come and buy the thing that we made.
That shit just make too much goddamn sense.
Because at this point, that's what we should be focused on in additional to your regular routine. Your routine gotta stay the same. But your routine it don't mean your routine gotta be free. But what happens is these people who are around you, it's great that they recognize that you got value. It ain't amazing until they put their money where their mouth is at. Or until they telling us where to get the money from. Because until they're doing that, you're an unpaid volunteer helping them be a paid employee.
Sure.
And it's just something to take note of. Oh, you'll use me for as long as I allow you to. I'm just trying to get you ahead of being pissed the fuck off.
Because I knew that.
You don't.
Because you did shit.
You need whoever to tell whoever. This street shit, man. Yes, a nigga can come and work his angle all the way from the block. Or you can make the right connection and go all the way to the top. A nigga do not have to fuck around for years figuring it out. That's what I'm calling volunteering. Selling sacks on the corner. You do not. You can prove yourself to the right person that puts you right talking to the nigga on the farm. You just can. But the nigga on the farm got to be the destination. No, you don't have to volunteer first. You got to have when you got the right person vouching. And right now, everybody you around can vouch for you. Even if they can't do nothing else. With the head of the motherfucking prison at the point where we say, what we got to do to have a conversation with him? What we got to do to have a conversation? Is it an education department? Is it somebody who responsible? What department? How do that work? because I'm trying to figure out what I got is so valuable while I'm hurting for money. That just don't make no sense. So now I'm just trying to figure out if you can help, or if you can point me in the right direction of the person who can help, because I'm trying to figure out how to make this my life, how to make this my full-time job. Where are the resources around this? How do y'all decide on what y'all pay? Is any programs making money? There's some questions we can ask. And ain't none of them disrespectful, because these people, we look at them as our allies, as our friends. And these are the people making money. So they recognize what I'm saying already, that they're making money and you're not. They recognize it. They know it. This really the nigga that should be being paid. This is what they all thinking. And they linger, and they bystanders watching the system allow them to take advantage of your value. Because until you're being compensated for it, it's taking advantage of it. So they bystanders. It ain't them per se. But if you ain't got the person saying, I can't let you keep coming here and doing this shit for free because of how amazing you are. These are the resources. This is the department. This is the person. If ain't nobody saying that, then we got to say it. And we got to say it earlier than later, because otherwise we're going to get mad.
But we keep being used and shit.
When really we're allowing ourselves to be used. And then the lesson we learn is how not to get used. I'm just here to tell you, I done learned that lesson already.
Right. I ain't got to go through it.
No, you don't got to go through it. And you done already went through your basic training. You done already got hazed. You done already experienced enough of it to recognize, how do I get in front of it? How do we get in front of it? How we get in front of it is we tell these fairy godmothers you meeting, because that's what they are. Hey, I just need to, we need to turn this into my business. And I'm only going to get better at it. And it's going to be all of the structure we need. But I'm trying to figure out different ways to be able to do this where I don't always have to be a volunteer. And if y'all don't have no resources, if y'all don't have no budget, then at the very least, I need to start figuring out how I can be being paid outside of here to be able to keep volunteering in here. So I might need y'all to sign off for it, or y'all to vouch for it, or can I put y'all down to say that this is a collaboration?
It's all that shit.
Yeah, it's all that. Because I need some money right now. And even if I can't get no money right now, I need to be working towards it. Is it a pot of money for resources for what I'm doing? What do we need to call it? Or is y'all already spent y'all budget and y'all already allocated y'all dollars for the year? And if you have, when do you create your budget for next year? Because at the very least, what I got to do to be in the budget for next year, or for when y'all season change, or for when y'all funding cycle change. You know what I'm saying? It's all that shit, ain't it? That's why I'm like, nigga, where the meeting at? Yep, it's all of that. And then at the same time, it's probably time to start Googling and searching grants for restorative justice program. We need to be looking for that, because we probably already ready to apply for that, because we could be getting that on our own. Even if it's not a lot, even if it's 5 bands. You know what I'm saying? Because then 5 bands becomes 1 hour paycheck broken up over the next 10 weeks of you about to be you doing this. You know what I'm saying? You see this when you looking at me. They see this when they looking at you, is you're already doing the work. Inviting these people to coffee, breakfast, lunch, to meet. This is what happens during those meetings. Is the offsite, out of location, on the weekend, real chop, where you give information so you can get information back. That's why you see me saying I got so many fucking meetings. You strategize in the meetings, because otherwise you just there again to do the work. So that's cool. That's on autopilot. But now, hey, can we meet? Or can I come up here and we meet? We got to an hour to sit down and talk about how I can develop and grow what I'm doing, grow my relationship. Yep, it's the meeting. Every story about all the excitement makes me nervous. It's triggering me. It's triggering me because I'm remembering when these motherfuckers was getting excited. And I sat up there and I'm like, eventually this shit gonna turn into something. No, it's not. Not eventually. Not at all. Because if you already doing the work, what the fuck is their incentive for doing anything different? You're already doing the work. It's already working. Little niggas, they calm. They ain't kicking each other asses. They listening. They being obedient. The retention to the program is good, so they can put check mark positive. They get a plus for retention. They get a plus for paying attention. So when you come in, when they got to sit there and write to the government all of the requirements for all these prisoners, they get pluses and they get check marks and they got good attendance and all that kind of shit. So that's what I'm saying. That's why they excited. Not the prisoners, but the counselors and all them motherfuckers around it. Oh, they don't listen to nobody. You know what that translates into? That translates into they've been being criticized as an institution on their ability to engage their prisoners. That's what that means. Oh man, Mr. Golfin, they ain't never sat down. They sat and listened. Oh, what that means? Oh, they keep coming back. Usually they don't get nobody to show up. Now they getting all 250 or all 50 stayed. Now they usually stay asleep. You know what that means? That means that that institution got a chance to check off a plus mark. Yes, retention was amazing. We getting 100% retention on a weekly basis. You know what I'm saying? You said what? That's the sad part. Your name never even make the motherfucking. They probably ain't telling them. They taking They taking ownership. They taking responsibility for the retention.
They ain't doing shit.
Well, they did it. They brought in somebody who can do it.
Right.